à l'intérieur, Bridegroom Bertie à l'avantage à l'intérieur, Man from Seattle à l'extérieur, Anton Ruskin, Man from Seattle, devant Anton Ruskin, Bridegroom Bertie, the third man.
When you win, everyone is happy. And when you lose, you have to be accept because you get beaten by good horses sometimes. You have to be accept. It's a part of the game.
I'm not happy about the discipline in racing. I'm not satisfied that we are taking the actions and sanctioning those that are deliberately putting the game into disrepute.
You've always got to think positively and place your horse in the right position, judge the speed and how fast they're going and things like that, and make sure your horse is always travelling. This is it, yeah.
Standing tall and majestic in modern splendor, Port Louis is Mauritius' capital city, with a population of about 160,000 people. Riddled with holiday goers all year round, this weekend, however, the bustling city is hosting a very important event in the Mauritian calendar: horse racing. With a history spanning over 200 years, horse racing is arguably the most popular sporting event in this island nation. Beyond being just a sport, it is an obsession that has grown into a multi-million-dollar industry. It is race day, and both Amar and Ramapatee Gujadhur, two passionate trainers from divergent backgrounds, have high stakes on the day. Lined up for the day are 9 races, including the Barbé Cup, a Mauritian classic race with a $32,000 prize money. Mauritius has about 400 racehorses and 15 registered trainers. Amar was the most promising rookie trainer of last year. This year, however, Amar is yet to replicate that impressive form. After not fielding any runner in race 1, he is preparing Jama, a 5-year-old horse, for the IndianOil Scratch and Win Promo Cup. The second race run over 1,850 meters. Jama will be ridden by Amar's most accomplished jockey, Swapnil Rama. Also settled in for the race is Ramapatee Gujadhur, arguably the most accomplished trainer of this generation. He has already lost in the first race of the day and would like to bounce back in style. For this race, he has paired horse Kemal Kavur with his #1 jockey Daniel Stackhouse. Both men are dying for their first big win of the year.
Mais men from Seattle, regardez le coup de rein à la corde pour aller.
The docks open and Kemal Kavur takes an immediate lead, with Jama and the other horses in the chasing pack.
Qui est en épaisseur pour l'instant, Amar va se placer devant.
At the 3/4 mark, Kemal Kavur is still leading, with Jama out of pace with the chasing pack. Finally, a win seems in the offing for Ramapatee. But with a few meters to go, 1, then 2 horses zoom past Kemal Kavur, much to the disappointment of Ramapatee.
Avec Aveil, Amar, Aveil face à Amar, Amar, Aveil, Aveil, Amar, Aveil va l'emporter devant Amar. Aveil qui s'impose.
Jama can only manage last place in this race. Even though it's approaching midday, throngs of people are still trickling into the racecourse. Planning an event of such magnitude each week is not an easy task. But the Mauritius Turf Club, the organization that runs the racecourse, has perfected the art over the years of its existence. The Mauritian Turf Club manages the 2 racecourses found in Mauritius. The Champ de Mars is the main racecourse and stands on the very spot where bloody battles between the British and the French were fought in 1810. Formerly an army barracks, a stout memento to its dark history is the Citadel Fort Adelaide, with its cannons now silently blaring into position. This fort was used to fiercely fend off the British for 3 years. But ultimately, the French surrendered in 1810 on condition that its settlers be allowed to keep their pieces of land. As the country lay tense and ridden with political suspicion, Sir Farquhar, through counsel from his wife of French descent, Maria Farquhar, converted the army barracks into a racecourse. Years later, the Champ de Mars still unites the people of Mauritius and acts as a place for socialization. The Mauritian Turf Club has a second, smaller horse track called the Guy de Marais Centre, based in Floréal, 25 kilometers from the country's capital, Port Louis. Due to the location of the racecourse at an altitude of about 521 meters above sea level, the Guy de Marais Centre is used as a high-altitude training facilities by all trainers. Horses are trained here because the thin air at high altitudes help to adjust their breathing, so that when they are racing at lower altitudes, they have an advantage. The centre is also used to relax horses after a race and recuperate those that are being nursed from injury and sickness. In Mauritius, races are mostly classified according to distance ran across the track.
Racing is quite technical. You know, you have the classics. The first classic is reserved for only new horses. New horses means that horses haven't raced in Mauritius. So you have to have a decent horse to run the first classic. Then you have the second classic is a mile, so you have to have a horse with ability and who is a good miler. Then the most important classic here is called the Maiden Plate, is run over 2004. You have not only to have a horses with ability but with stamina. And then we have the group races, sprint races, long distance races. It's quite basic in fact.
For the third race of the day, called the IndianOil Barbé Cup, the horses will be racing across a distance of 1,450 meters. Amar's horse, from the Ashes, will be pitted against Ramapatee's stockbroker, among 9 other runners. Amar badly needs a win and has placed high hopes on this particular horse because it is strong and has shown great promise during training this past week.
Ce sera le départ de cette 3e épreuve IndianOil Barbé Cup.
C'est parti pour la troisième épreuve.
The race starts with all the runners looking almost evenly matched. But as the race progresses, From the Ashes starts to fade from the leading pack.
Force qui va lancer la course. Dark Force Alfirenze, Majestic Moon bien parti. Ensuite, on retrouve From the Ashes, l'autre nouveau Opportunity. Va contourner tout le peloton From the...
Meanwhile, Stockbroker is up to pace with the race leaders. With a few meters to go, he's even threatening for a win.
Stockbroker n'accélère pas comme...
But the leaders are able to hold him for a third place.
L'impulsion de Robifrad, it doesn't matter, s'impose devant Dark Force.
From the Ashes finishes a dismal ninth. Amar is visibly heartbroken and disappointed. As is the habit of most trainers, he walks into the trainer's room to review the race. A disappointed Ramapatee also wants to find out what happened to his horse. He too was yearning for this win.
C'est parti pour cette quatrième course, 1500 mètres à parcourir.
In race 4, Amar fields New Hampshire, while Ramapatee fields Malak El Muluk.
Finalement s'est lancé en tête. Chilicon Carane qui va essayer de repousser l'assaut de Belenos et de Malak El Muluk. Chilicon Carane avec Belenos, Gingerbread Man qui tente de revenir à l'extérieur également. Mais Chilicon Carane a toujours le meilleur face à Belenos qui termine fort en dehors. Chilicon Carane, Belenos, Chilicon Carane au Belenos. Chilicon Carane s'impose devant Belenos.
Another dull showing for the duo. Ramapatee would finish third, with Amar a distant seventh in a turf of 8 runners. Again, they both lose. This was not how things are meant to turn out. The mood is somber at the Ramapatee booth. His grandchildren, keen followers of the races, are trying to figure out what's going on with their grandfather's horses today. For Amar, this string of dismal performances by his horses can be attributed to last year's exploits.
We won 20 races last year. And this year we start very quiet. It's because all my horses already raised a lot of rating. They feel tired. They got injuries, got problem, and we can't pick up their right preparation for the new horses.
Just like an athlete, a horse's health has to be monitored constantly to ensure that they are in their best form possible. Alexander Philippe is Amar's stable's veterinarian. His main work is to oversee the overall health of all the horses in the stable and ensure that they're in good shape both psychologically and nutritionally.
One of the issues because of a track is mainly intra-articular treatments that we administer. I mean, this is because horses have quite a few joint problems. Mainly comes to a fetlock, knees, and also beyond stifle joints, hock joints, sometimes cuffing joints as well. Other problems like happen also elsewhere, like tendon injuries or ligaments, and so on this basis we do regular checks to make sure if your horse has to be rested before severe injury happen. So we do regular checks to make sure they stay as sound as possible. We are lucky we're a small island far away from lots of places, so we are almost considered as a little quarantine area. So there's quite well looking that way, so that we're not affected by many viruses and severe bacteria. So we do get the odd problems, but nothing major, luckily.
Mauritius has one of the highest concentration of religious diversity in the world. This diversity is attributed to the different races of people from all across the world that settled into the country, such as the Chinese, the Indians, and people from mainland Africa. Horse racing summons a cult following in Mauritius. All through training and into the race, many fans follow the activities of their favorite horses very keenly.
Horse racing here, short of anything better, is the national sport of Mauritius. We have a very, very wide range of followers which cut across barriers of class, communities, social status, and every second person you meet in the island is a fan of the Gujadhur stable.
During horse racing events each week, business owners have created a booming market around the track to cater to the different needs of the spectators. In an industry cutting across food, publishing and even television, a new economy based on horse racing is thriving in Mauritius. But something harmful to horse racing has started to taint this industry in the recent past. Excessive betting and gambling are slowly creeping into the sport. This has tainted the otherwise clean image of horse racing in the country. Ramapatee is not happy with this negative developments.
The biggest challenges today is to restore the integrity in the sports. I believe that the Gambling Regulatory Authority has started taking steps. I am of the opinion that the GRA should be equipped with more professionals who can read the race, who know the ropes around, and the gaming police also is not equipped. I'm not happy about the discipline in racing. I'll be very frank. I know that some people are doing a very ungrateful job, like the racing stewards or even the GRA or the administrators. But I'm not satisfied that we are taking the actions and sanctioning those that are deliberately putting the game into disrepute, affecting the integrity of the sports.
As a way to foster knowledge transference, Amar is giving a chance to the next generation of jockeys, just like he was given a chance years back.
If my trainer never give me my chance, I will be not here. So that's why I like to help people want to come as a jockey, as a groom, as what they want. I can help. I'll definitely help them.
Amar is a very good man. I like to work with him.
He's a very good trainer. He like friendly. He's not like our coach. He's like our friend. He gave us our opportunity. He see we work hard for him, and then he gave us our opportunity.
I teach them what I know. That is my intention, to bring some new people to this industry, so give them the chance and to improve.
She gives him finally a good opinion and he's sarcastic to her. Say, for once you saw my horse.
Every day she finds this one, she just put lame or so or something like that. The handicapper doesn't even...
When he needs a favor, he calls me boss.
A boss.
No.
Ramapatee is also hoping that he can pass on the mantle of his stable to his son.
And then he went to Major. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, same thing.
The intention was not to come and be the assistant of my dad. You know, I spent 22 years in England. I was a doctor there, I was a GP. The opportunity came here where Dad needed some help in his business, and when I got here he said, look, I also need an assistant trainer, even though I've never done the job, but I've been following him, I've been following orders from him. I'm beginning to grasp the basic of training horses. It's not just about the training. You have to have the eye for it, you know, when a horse is fit, when a horse is well, when he's going overboard, you know, and then I don't think I've got that experience, you know. So Dad's born into it, has lived into horse racing for more than 70 years. I only came back in 2013, four and a half years. I come to training twice, maximum 3 times a week. I do give him my point of view now, but first 3 years I was just listening to what he was saying because he was the one that knows. I'm not a real trainer.
After a disappointing start to the day, for race 5, Ramapatee has nominated Saint-Tropez, while Wild Horizon will be flying the colours of Amar's stable.
Départ de la 5e épreuve, Paul Tractor très sollicité complètement à l'extérieur. Captain Magpie comme attendu également.
Both Saint-Tropez and Wild Horizon are keeping pace in the middle of the pack.
À la corde devant Bonnie Prince, Captain Magpie. Ensuite Alpha Fidelzi, Split the Breeze, Saint-Tropez, Cool and Fast.
With less than 100 meters to go, Saint-Tropez is closing in on the leaders. Meanwhile, Wild Horizon is struggling to keep up in the middle of the pack. Finally, Saint-Tropez has taken the lead and is racing towards the finish.
Saint-Tropez s'offre sa première victoire au champ de Mars. Il gagne en main de
And he has done it. Saint-Tropez has won the Indian Servo Lubricant Cup, run across 1,450 meters. It was a gracious win for Ramapatee, with Amar nowhere near a podium finish. A much-needed booster. Ramapatee heads into race 6, the IndianOil Barbé Cup totally psyched up. Run across 1,600 meters, this is the ultimate race for the day.
It's a big day, it's a Barbé Cup. Unfortunately, I did not have room for my new horse, Wild Horizon, I think. If they get a chance to run on that race, hopefully they will adapt their track and the crowd here very well. So that's the future horse for me.
Although Amar is not fielding any horse, Ramapatee has nominated 5 runners, among them the highly rated Table Bay, to be jockeyed by Daniel Stackhouse.
Well, I started riding horses when I was about 12. I did show jumping and went to a lot of horse shows. And then I got a job before school riding track work. And I got asked to come to Mauritius last year. A great friend of mine approached me and said, oh, there's an opportunity to go to Mauritius, would you like to try it for the winter? I said, yeah, why not? You know, change is always good and get out of the cold weather. So, you know, Saint-Tropez, he was a big surprise. I didn't think he'd win like that over 1,400 metres. He's more of a staying sort of horse, so that really got the stable going and confidence going right into the big race. Carry that into the next race. You've always got to think positively and place your horse in the right position. You've got to judge the speed and how fast they're going and things like that, and make sure your horse is always travelling. My horse, he takes a while to get going. He sort of hits a really flat spot about the 500, so I always wanted to be on the outside, never boxed in. I wanted to make my move early and get his momentum going into the corner, so he can really run through the corner and get to his top quickly. So it's been good, and yeah, pretty much this is it, yeah.
Knight va faire l'effort, tout comme Table Bay, Carrard avec Table Bay qui fonce. C'est parti pour le Barbé avec un départ un peu quelconque pour 10 Gun Salute. Speed limit est sollicité avec également...
The race is underway. One of Ramapatee's horses is leading the pack, with the highly rated Table Bay among the chasing pack.
Tandraji qui dirige les opérations devant Speed Limit. Carrard, ensuite on retrouve Kremlin Captain.
200 meters and Table Bay is making a move. Galloping harder than ever, he is making strides towards the lead. 100 meters away, and he has ultimately taken the lead. From here, there is no stopping him from the Barbé Cup.
Environ 900 mètres à parcourir. Bariton qui cherche le passage. Table Bay qui a l'avantage. Table Bay remporte le Barbé. Monté par Dan Stackhouse.
Table Bay has won it for Ramapatee when it matters the most.
This is my first Group 1 that I've ever won, so that was always great to get that finally ticked off. Always been pretty close in Group 1s, but yeah, to finally win one is always great. So to win for the Gujadhur stay was fantastic.
It's always a source of great satisfaction when you win a classic race. And this one, there was a lot of hype about this classic because we had 5 runners in it. And but the horse we expected to do well won the race. Table Bay, he came with a good reputation, ran second in the first classic. So now, you know, he's a winner.
For a 7 through to 9, Amar could only manage a best finish of position 4. Yet another disappointing weekend for him. In sports, there's always a winner and a loser. Even though Amar did not perform as he had expected he would, in true sporting nature, he accepts defeat.
When you win, everyone is happy. And when you lose, you have to accept because you get beaten by good horses sometimes. And sometimes the horses, they are well on training, but they're off on that day. And you have to accept it's a part of the game.
As the winners line up to receive their awards, fashion and glamour takes center stage. Ramapatee is relishing in his Barbé Cup victory as he receives yet another classic cup for his almost overcrowded trophy cabinet. Horse racing in Mauritius is more than just a sporting event. Founded to foster peace and unity in the country, it has done so for centuries. True to Sir Robert Farquhar's vision of using this amazing sport to unite the people, the country continues to blossom in peace and unity. And as the sun sets to yet another beautiful day in Mauritius, Sir Farquhar would have been proud of his accomplishment.